Hello everyone, this is Akshita Singh and I welcome you all to PBS Executive. This is a radio program wherein we have corporate leaders with us, wherein they speak with Pune Business School students. We have an interesting conversation about what are the work that they do, and the corporate leader that we have today is Afreen Khan ma'am. I welcome you ma'am. I hope you had a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, dear. Yes, I had an amazing session with you people. I really enjoyed it. It was excellent conversing with you all.
We just had a conclave in the first half of the day, and I hope you had a wonderful day there. And the very first question that comes to my mind after watching you is, since you're related to fashion, is what are your inspiration? What is the inspiration that you have before you design something, like be it culture or something? The most common thing that inspires you before you design something.
See, the most common thing that actually inspires me before designing is nature. I'm closely connected to nature and I'm a trekker as my hobby. So there are a lot of things that I have imprint from the nature, which helps me out to come up with, every time I come up with something new that always has a tint of nature in it. So that is something beautifies my design as well in that case.
So it is nature.
It is nature.
That is wonderful. And since you're talking about nature, let me ask you, what do you think about sustainability into the fashion trends? Like people are becoming very concerning about what are the things that they're wearing and if they are sustainable enough or not. So what do you think about it into the fashion industry and how is it affecting fashion?
So you started with the inspiration itself from the nature. And as far as sustainability is concerned, dear, see, the thing that actually sustains is like how it's going to be more useful in future, how it's going to damage the nature. So what we come up with are ideas and innovations in our fashion industry is like something that, as you might have always observed, fashion repeats itself, right? So what we always come is like coming up with an introduction part somewhere around the world which will never waste your fashion, which will never waste your trend. It will something which is going to come up again and again in a different form with a different setting. There are two things how you always come up with things, no matter you belong to whichever profession. There are two things. Either whatever the demand is already there in the market, you supply that, or else you create a demand and then you supply it. So this is on this basic principle we work. This basic principle fashion works basically. So the way I come up with my design is like, the first thing which I always focus is on awareness. What actually exists, I study about that first. So I'm quite sure now what I'm supposed to come up with, what I'm not supposed to touch now. Because what already exists, if I come up with something similar to it, people are not going to prefer it. So that in that case, every time I have to come up with something new, I need to study what actually exists around us. And on basis of that, and having an inspiration from the nature, because I'm a very spiritual person. So, and universe is like, it's an infinity. So like you have infinite thing to actually grab from nature to understand it, and it depicts in my designs as well. This is how it works for me.
That is wonderful, ma'am. The next question I have in my mind is like, a fashion is something very, like, it keeps changing.
Absolutely.
But you also have to think about aesthetic purpose and
True.
Also its wearability. Like wearability and practicability both have to be thought about before you make a design. So how do you convince yourself to, like, does the creative part overpowers the wearability part, or vice versa?
I'll tell you something. See, fashion is something that will make you feel comfortable with yourself. That is something. When a person is comfortable with what a person is wearing, no matter if that particular thing is there in trend or no, that person will carry it so well that it will eventually become a fashion. This is how fashion works. It plays with the psychology and the mindset of people. If I'm confidently wearing something which is really unusual, like the way Ranveer Singh does, but yes, it comes down to the trend as well. People like watching it. This is how the psychology works in fashion. The comfort. Second, the designs. Designs completely depends on the requirement of the particular event or a particular session, what is in demand. For example, if I want to design something for a pageant, I cannot design or I cannot come up with something which a common person will prefer, right? But yes, I need to be very fair and I need to do justice with the theme of the pageant. usually people has this concept and question, why do these people wear such weird outfits and fashion shows and pageant? How is it useful for a common man? So these are not the outfits that have been depicted in pageants and fashion shows. No, that is the concepts and the ideas and the theme what a person comes up with, which has been depicted. The one who knows about it understands it. And usually common people are not much aware about this concept. So that is the reason they have that confusion in their mind that why these models are wearing such weird outfits. Yeah, exactly. When no one is going to prefer it. But no. The reason why pageants come up with such kind of thing is like they are coming up with new themes and concepts around. That's what I told you. As your channel name is also Infinity. A lot of things across has been still been unexplored. So as a designer, we explore a lot of things which is like still, I have come up, it took me 9 years to study all the designers till date, and all the collection that has been invented and coming up till date. That was the only reason this research and study helped me out to come up with a collection. I'm coming up with a formal collection with the elements which till date none of the designers have come up with. And the concept turned out to be so amazing that now, in fact, Gauri Khan is investing in my collection.
Oh, that is wonderful.
Yes, because see, why I was able to do it, because I did my research part very well. So that's what I told you initially. Once you know what is already existing, you will not waste your time and effort in coming up with the similar things. You will always come up with something which is not there. So that is what is innovation all about, which doesn't exist, which something needs to be useful. So this is how it works.
Ma'am, while I was researching about your profile, I came to know that you have won a lot of awards and
yes.
MTV.
Yes.
So how do you think social media affects entrepreneurs? Like you're an entrepreneur, and how does social media will help you boom your business?
See, that's a very common saying that jo dikhta hai wo bikta hai kind of a thing. When I pursued my fashion designing course, initially the idea was only to become a designer. But eventually when I entered Bollywood, and the first award was literally from Star Plus. There's a best. And then later on the same event, I was given an opportunity by Mr. Rohit Verma. He's an international fashion designer. He asked me to join his firm as an intern. And that actually changed my life completely. What happened when he gave me a chance of internship, because of him I was able to explore all the verticals that comes under fashion technology, because it's an ocean of opportunities. Fashion designing is not only related to the designing part, to come up with some new designs and dressing, that's it. No. So I didn't limit it myself. I didn't stop myself. I explored the styling part, I explored the photography part, the artistic. There are almost, I don't know if you're aware of this, there are almost 89 different professions that you can explore under the roof of fashion designing. Yes, a full-time professional earning I'm talking about. So it is an ocean of opportunities. So what I did was I explored each and every vertical. I worked with Zoom TV, I worked with MTV, I worked as an assistant to marketing head Mr. Kunal Mukherjee at Zoom Viacom 18. So after exploring media, fashion, trend, everything, I know at least I was aware of each and everything, which helped me out to come up with my own collection as well. And I was very well strategized, okay, now this is the way how I'm going to present it. So all the caliber that I could inculcate from that was, I know I was very simple and crisp with my strategies, with my presentation, with my designs. So never to stop yourself. The more you explore, the more easy it becomes for you to strategize your product, to present your product. Now if something you can come up with n number of questions related to my product, I can explain you why, because I have done that kind of a research and I have myself came up with it. Right, so if you're competent enough with your product, you can just par it out.
Wonderful, ma'am. Another question that I have is, because I attended the conclave that we had, and you told us about that you come from a very orthodox family.
Absolutely. And biggest challenge in my life.
Yes, and being a woman, you used to travel from Pune to Bombay every day. So how did it shape you? Like, what the difficulties made you stronger? And I want you to tell this to our viewers also.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And see, a person can fight and can, just go across with the world, but when it comes to family, now it becomes very difficult. I belong to a complete Orthodox Muslim family, and there is a, as I said, Orthodox, so they were not in favor of me in working in fashion industry. But I was very passionate with my outfits, with my collection since my childhood. I was very specific. Jo maine pehna hai, whatever I am wearing, yeah, I am coming up with, no one around should prefer it. I need to stand out. That was the thing since my childhood in me. And being a girl, every girl has that kind of a trick in it. So that actually helped me out to map out what passion I have within myself. And parallelly, I was very good in teaching with my academics as well. So I have completed my post-graduation even in academics and even in my fashion designing. So that is the reason this craziness, my passion has helped me out with my education as well. And secondly, it gave me a very good strength to just pursue what I wanted. I used to early morning head Mumbai, and at that time in 2009 it was very difficult because many a times I could not help spice jet tha. So we could have return flights in those days, but nowadays it's a big so traveling by road was a challenge again for me, but then yes, I could make it. I used to head Mumbai because in 2009, before completing my my graduation of my course of fashion designing, my designs were selected in Ada Fashion Week in Mumbai, which motivated me. And Aditi Govatrikar, Miss Universe, the ex-Miss Universe, she was the guest in one of our event. She appreciated me so much for my designs, which motivated her. I was like, I'm not going to stop. When such a big celeb coming down to your event and between thousands of designs, if she's appreciating me on stage, that this was like, I'm not going to stop now, no matter what happens. It was a challenge to go against the family without informing them within the college timings. I used to run to Mumbai, I used to submit my designs, I participated in that contest of Star Plus, and I did a lot. This continued for continuous 7 months. I did morning Mumbai, evening back to Pune, which was really physically also, health wise, it was very big challenge for me, but then I did. And the only reason why I was able to do it is because I was having that kind of craziness, that passion in myself. When I have it in me, I will prove myself, no matter what comes. And touch wood, today my family is very proud of me. Very proud of me. Yes, I had to go through a lot of things at that time, but yes, I could prove it. And when luckily this struggle paid off, when I got the award from Star Plus as the best designer, and on the same event, as I told you, Mr. Rohit Verma helped me with an internship. I pursued with an internship only for 9 months, and immediately within 9 months, my design as an intern was appreciated by Zoom TV's marketing head, Mr. Kunal Mukherjee, and he offered me a job in Zoom TV. I assisted him for 2 years at a stretch, and during that tenure, Paris designer, international Paris fashion designer, Mr. Alexander Hokovich, he headed to Mumbai for some reason, and at that time, he was facing some issues with the designs. There were a lot of chaos going on in Mumbai. At that time, again, I came up with, you remember, in my childhood, I don't know about you, but in my childhood, I remember there was a work called Badla. एक silver color के boots आते थे, Badla work. That was a complete Indian thing. You will not find it in any other countries. It was completely a new concept for Mr. Alexander. And there was no other way out, no other raw stuff out to complete the thing which he was struggling with. So I suggested, why don't we go with Badla? So no chemicals or no polish and everything is going to be required for that. And he was so impressed with it. In that second year, I got an opportunity to work with Paris Fashion Week. So the way it was moving on my life, I was at every step, I was getting motivated. And since then, I started appreciating myself and motivating myself every morning. You're an amazing person, you can do it, and let's do it. So this helped me out eventually in my life till date to just move on. And I have never stopped myself, never limited myself. Whatever came in my way, I never thought, okay, this is not from my vertical, my profession, so why should I get into it? No, I was always open for everything. And I explored media, I explored real estate as well, which was nowhere related to my profession. But then yes, today my firm has that vertical as well, and we are doing very good in it. So the kind of connections I built over the time, the kind of knowledge I've acquainted over the time, the kind of people know me today. So this is something where I stand, because even today, if everything goes off. I know what I have earned. And at the end of the day, what a human wants, a self-satisfaction. And yes, I'm very happy and proud of myself today. And finally, with a good guidance in my life, with a lot of sirs, especially like Mr. Deepak Toshnipal, Praveen sir, a lot of people around, they have really guided me well. And today I'm coming up with my own institute where I'm going to help my kids. Let's not waste time. I know where I'm supposed to take you. So I'm going to help each and every student of mine to get 100% placement wherever they feel like. As if now I'm working with 9 production houses in Bollywood as a casting director and costume designer. So I have explored each and every field. I have built very strong connections, whether it's Bollywood, whether it's media house, whether it's any connection, whether it's styling house, pageant industry. So I can place my students wherever, in whichever field they want to. So this kind of explore and this kind of research, because I am an over active kind of a female. I don't never felt like to sit back and relax and Netflix and chill was never my cup of tea till date. So I was overacting. Even if I'm not keeping well, I'll make sure I dress up and I step out of my house. That is something that's going to give me relief. So this has helped me out to be whatever I am today. And I'm very happy with it.
Also, ma'am, one last question.
Sure.
Because you told us about manifestations, how you talk to yourself, about how wonderful human being you are, and so one piece of advice that you would give to other women, young women, or women of color specifically, because we often face challenges at home as well, that will help us in our career.
See, I'll tell you something. As I told you, I belong to an Orthodox family. Still, I belong to that family. And yes, apart from being an entrepreneur, running an institute, as a designer, as a cast, everything out of my door. Once I enter my house, I am a mother. I am a housewife. Once I enter my door, I do everything by myself. I cook. I have a lot of options where I can hire people. But I do enjoy those moments with my kids, my family as well. A person should be very sorted in their head first. Then only you can sort your life. If you are confused over here in your head, in your mindset, if you're trying to speak up to yourself, I'm loaded with so many things, you will never land to your work peacefully. No. When you're happy with your work, done. Halfway is crossed. You need to be very clear, very sorted in your head, and don't stop yourself. Life is very small. Enjoy each and every moment. Don't waste your time. Simple as that. And keep exploring. Don't limit yourself, keep exploring. And you should know where to draw a line in your life. Where to draw a line. Only just because you love your work, 24/7 hours, you'll only think about your work and you'll keep exploring your work and you will not concentrate on your personal life, will not work out for you peacefully. At the end, you'll land up in a mess. So if you want to be sorted and peaceful in your life, you know where to draw a line, how much time is to be allotted to your family. Once you're with your family, keep your work aside. Once you're with your work, keep your family aside. So if you're sorted in your head, if you know what is to be done in your life, it becomes very easy. Half of the war is won.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Time.
It was really excellent talking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.